Good day and welcome to the One Piece 4 YouTube channel. I am Frankie15
And I am Jawa, not Mapache.
and today we're reviewing One Piece chapter 845.
Yes, the enraged army.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah. So do you wanna go ahead and start us off?
Okay, so this chapter is basically they're all about to gang bash Luffy. So Big Mom's forces, Big Mom's forces are in position. Luffy's like, "Come at me, punks! I'm waiting for Sanji." He's talking in broken nose language, which is sad, but that's okay. He'll live. We get a nice glimpse of the Big Mom upper ranks, one of their strongest warriors, some of their strongest warriors rather.
Yeah.
We get to see more of Luffy's dedication. We get a nice dinner scene with Big Mom, and then a Sanji pudding conversation to finish up. So pretty intense chapter. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, we get so Luffy just being completely fuck, what's
Stubborn.
the word?
Adamant.
Adamant. Yeah, he's been completely adamant. He wants to do what he wants to do. He wants to sit there and he wants to wait for Sanji, whether he's got broken bones in his face or anything. He's speaking in gibberish, and he wants to stay
Danji
there.
built some.
Yeah, I always like that when Oda does the words that aren't quite words, and your brain
Yeah.
still knows what they are. That's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nami's trying to put some sense into Luffy and say, come on, Luffy, let's go. At least behind these trees so they can't see us. The army's right there. He's like, nothing we can do now. Nothing we can do now.
Well, look, the logic makes sense. If
Yeah.
the army can't see him, how will Sanji? It's the real
Yeah.
question.
That is good. So we move on to the carriage, moving into Big Mom's castle, and we have Yonji kind of narrating the army of Big Mom, telling us the big guys are coming into the fray. So, and after a long laugh, we see Bobbin again. I love this dude. He just sat there. He's fat.
I think it's
He's
an
got the mask.
unhealthy
You what?
an unhealthy fascination. I think it's an unhealthy fascination with Bob. It's
No.
like I had no recollection of this dude until he
No,
brought
I
him
love
up.
this guy. This
Like,
guy.
"Oh, don't you remember from 300 episodes or chapters ago?" I'm like, no.
Yeah, man. So if anyone doesn't know, we saw this guy back in Fishman Island arc when we first got introduced to Big Mom, and this guy like single-handedly brought down a country or something. So we know this guy is like the top echelon of Big Mom's crew. We don't know if he's a commander. He could be, but I think it would more likely would bring up one of the order boxes with Commander of Big Mom Pirates Bobbin.
No, didn't we see the three commanders yesterday? Oh no, is it last week? Last chapter? Or
we
two
didn't
chapters?
we didn't see any of them.
Starch.
It told us the name.
No,
of them.
we saw Potato
Oh,
Starch.
yeah. So yeah.
She
no,
said
you're
all
right.
of them were here except for Cracker. Yeah, we saw them last
Yeah.
week.
So you're right. So Bobbin
Once-
is probably not one of them, unless it says next week.
No.
Oh, Commander of Starch, Bobbin. It might say
No,
that.
no, Potato Starch was the guy's name in the same way like Cracker was the other guy's name.
All right. Okay. Well.
God damn it, Frankie. Where are
well,
you
then
at?
I'm wrong. So, you don't know anything about Bobbin, but what do you think of the lineup where there's like the guy who kind of reminds me of Treble because he's got like weird liquid running all over his body,
Yes.
or he could be liquid. We've
Yes.
got the girl with the long hat who
Yes.
looks really skinny.
I think this is like an epic lineup. I think Oda recycled the same face, like that. The same treble-looking face is like there 4 times in the picture.
Yeah.
So and there's a lot of people in army uniform. There are a few familiar faces of Big Mom's crew. Like it's an intense lot. Like,
Yeah.
and there are like 2 chicks up, and Boppin's the one leading the fight. He's just like a short, fat dude who looks like a very small Big Mom.
Small Big Mom. That's a good comparison.
just-
I like that. Yeah. And he just
So yeah, it's like, oh, there's an emu. Is that an emu or an ostrich? There's a dude with a bird-like thing. 2 of them.
let
My
me see.
goodness.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
how
well, anyway.
Bobbin is he's just sat there like some kind of crazed maniac. He's just got this big smile on his face and this mask that
Yeah.
covers it, and it's like the smile is wider than the mask. So it
Yeah,
looks
his
like
face is one.
so it kind of looks like he's shaking his head. Do you not think? Can you see him
No,
right now? Don't you think?
no.
Oh man, I thought that.
Oh, maybe.
Thought it kind of looks
No,
like
I
a
don't.
shaking
I don't
his
see
head.
it. I'm sorry.
No, okay. Well, I saw that. Oh,
No, I
no.
got nothing for you. I'm sorry.
So, the next part of the chapter is the Vinsmokes finally meeting Big Mom and having a meal. And can I just ask you a question?
I think. Yeah, go.
Would you eat the food that is like talking?
Yeah, the food's going like, yeah, eat us. We're very delicious.
Like it's kind of a moral question.
It depends how it smells, to be honest. It is a turn off if that's sort of the if that's the general gist of the question. Like I can't guarantee I won't eat it because if it smells really nice, then maybe. But like the fact that it's telling me to eat it doesn't do much for me.
What if like
no,
you
stay
could,
dead.
What if you could feel like little like food teeth or something like as you was eating it? Because what if it had like kind of like teeth like made out of the food that it's made of, but you could kind of feel them because it's harder than the normal stuff that it's made out of. If you know what I'm getting at, like you could like as you're crunching, you can.
I
Like,
know
feel
what you're
the
getting
teeth and the tongue and
Like
stuff.
you crunch it, then it crunches you back.
Yeah.
Look, I think it'd be an adventure. I mean, I doubt that she'd serve it if it could do much harm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I imagine it's all edible and nice, but like,
Yeah.
shut up. I want to eat you, not listen to you.
Yeah, and Sanji does make a good point that it's just too noisy. The food is just too noisy. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Though I think a shout out needs to go out to Luffy, who a couple pages before the dinner scene was refusing to even. It started raining on him, and he refused to even let rain inside his mouth because he wants Sanji to be his next meal.
But
Well,
rain
Sanji's
isn't,
food, not Sanji himself.
water isn't even like it's not food, so it doesn't make sense. Luffy doesn't make sense. It's like it's stupid as fuck.
He swallows. Oh crap! Every time he swallows, his saliva and up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Freaking scumbag! How dare you?
So, pudding, or purin, however you want to say it.
I say pudding because, like, I think that's the meaning he originally intended. But carry on.
Probably because of whole cake. Yeah, it makes sense. She slides a note across, and if you can't see on the camera, anyone is watching, but I am literally using my hand to slide across the table, so that
Oh, okay.
you know, it's something that I do.
Yeah.
She slides
very
across
subtle,
the table. Yeah, it's very subtle.
Like her arm reaches like a meter down. It's like.
I half expect Big Mom to just have like looked, turned her eye and just seen it, or maybe one of the brothers or his dad to just seen it with their eye, you know, like ooh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And the note is to meet in another room and stuff. But if you notice in the room that they go in to have their conversation, there's like Big Mom's like goons there, like you know the things that she's give life to her. There's stuff there.
Are they alive though?
I
Where?
think-
I don't. No. There's a clock and there's a panda bear, but none of them are alive. Like there's just a giant toy.
It could be. It could
I
be
don't.
though.
Oh, actually, no. There is. There's a bundle of goo that has eyes. So we could be onto something there.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's a good spot though. I didn't even think about that they'd have goons in there.
And even the bear could be just pretending to not hear anything, but it could be hearing it all, right?
Now I think that there's a certain character around, like the eyes. The bear's eyes are like black, like they look dead. Like normally, Big Mom's alive things have a very standard face. But I mean, you could be right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Though I think there's a point of the mirror being there. There's a massive mirror complex thing on the wall, and given that Chopper and Carrot are inside the mirror world, that could be very significant later on.
Yeah. Maybe they could just burst in the room and be like, Sanji, come with us. You know, we found a way
That'd
to
be
get your
weird. It'd
handcuffs
be
off.
like the handcuffs
What if
thing
they
is
had a
weird.
key?
I think.
What if they like use the mirrors? They figured out Brulee's powers, and they could use the mirrors to go in and out, right? And then they stole the keys and then gave them to Sanji, and Sanji got the keys, and they just left. End of Big Mom arc.
I think that honestly, because I don't know how to see any other way for Luffy to survive
Yeah, I
unless
don't-
this Sanji
yeah.
thing gets wrapped up quickly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they can't go back inside the mirror world. They'd need the fruit for that. They could get out, I assume, because they see all the doorways. But
Maybe if they
yeah, I don't see them getting back in.
maybe if they beat Brulee, they could do something. Maybe if they beat Brulee into submission and then like tied her up and forced her to do stuff, like you know, maybe they could do it.
Maybe,
then.
but
like
even
what
so, I don't.
Trafalgar Law was doing with Caesar Clown, like back in the day.
Even so, though, I don't see Sanji going because they still have the threat of Zeph. Like the moment they find him missing, they're just gonna kill Zeph.
But the thing
So
is,
I don't think he'll go.
the thing I want to say about this conversation is, both of them don't seem genuine at all. Neither of them seem genuine to me.
Who? Sanji and Pudding?
Sanji and Pudding. Neither of them seem
Really?
genuine. Yeah. Like, I feel like Sanji wants to go back to Luffy, and he's not being like. At the end, he says that he wants to like get married, but I feel like
He
he's
wants to get
lying.
married tomorrow.
I feel like he's lying to Pudding, saying that, oh fine, yeah, we'll get married. It's what I want to do. He doesn't want to do it. He's just saying that for like his crew's sake, right? And
I
I
know
also
what
think
you
Pudding
mean.
is lying as well because she's saying, oh, I want you to go back to your. But I think she's scheming in some kind of ways because I feel like still to this day, how could she have let the crew go into the seducing woods when she said she was going to meet them there? It's just all fishy to me. Pudding's all fishy to me. I think.
I actually don't know. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt because they made a comment about it in this chapter. I think when she mentioned like her mother stopped her from meeting the Straw Hats when she got to the island. So I think there's still a chance, like a very good chance, that she is genuine. And I think that Sanji, given what Sanji has already done to Luffy, to him and hit him and stuff, I think that he has no intentions to escape. Like I don't see the way you see it that he's lying and trying to get back to the Straw Hats.
No, I don't. No,
I honestly think.
I don't mean that he's trying to get back to Straw Hats. I mean he's saying at the end he's like, no, I want to get married, but I don't think he wants to get married. He's just saying that for the sake of the crew, so that he can maybe spare the crew's life if he marries Pudding. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I mean no, okay, I can understand that sentiment, but I think then that you sort of misunderstood the conversation because the situation was very clear to both of them in that he didn't want to get married, he wanted to stay with his crew, like given the choice. But he's saying then that option is no longer available to me, so I would rather just, make the most of this new life and get married tomorrow. And I think Pudding understands that she isn't his first preference over the Straw Hats, but but like Sanji's now given the threat on Zeph. Until that threat on Zeph goes away, I think Sanji's going to be genuine about any attempt to marry Pudding and stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like there's something there there's something evil there with Pudding. I feel like she's not a daughter of Big Mom for nothing, right? I mean, come on.
True, but I don't know. There's always going to be one bad egg or one good egg, however you think of it.
Yeah.
And she has 130, 144, is it? Like, chances of a good egg? You never know.
Yeah.
Already counting Lola.
I also feel like, is it worth it for Big Mom's crew? If Sanji does escape, is it worth it for Big Mom's crew to go all the way to East Blue just to kill this dude?
I think the threat is that they're already there and just waiting for the order. Like, Big Mom's people just come in and out on a regular basis and they're just waiting for them to get, like, the call in from Big Mom to get rid of him.
Maybe, but I just don't know. I don't think so.
You know what I think would be great, though?
What, go on then.
If that ever happened, so if it ever got into a position where Zeph was, like, given the kill order, like, they had to kill him, and Zeph just turned out to be this monster who they could not touch, and he just wrecks all of them.
The thing is,
And then he just...
I always thought, Zeph could be a monster and stuff, but then there's something that always makes me think, nah, there's no way he can be a monster. Back in the Beate arc, there was that Gin dude, and Gin blindsided him and was able to like put him under submission and put a gun in front of his head, and like I feel like if Zeph was a monster like any other character, a gun wouldn't do anything. A gun doesn't do anything to anyone, right? In One Piece. So if I mean it's true, right? So if
I know.
Zeph was a monster like anyone else in the series, like Zoro just dodges bullets like it's nothing, right? So if Zeph was a monster that could take on Big Mom crew members, then he probably wouldn't have happened to him in East Blue, right?
No, I mean we have to acknowledge though that Oda might just not have decided that he was that strong, and now if he decides he is that strong, then he can just bullcrap whatever excuse. Like I think though at the time the reason Zeph never seemed worried to me in that arc, and I think that's because he had faith in Luffy and like he had like that old person wisdom that Luffy was gonna do something amazing. So like that, but given the fact that he wasn't scared, I also think that he knew that he could like take care of it on his own if he had to.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going back to the first chapter. Shanks got his arm bitten off by that pussy crocodile thing, right?
Exactly.
and that would never happen to him, right? Or I couldn't imagine it happened to him. So, like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
But I mean, again,
we've sidetracked quite a bit. Should we go back to the end of the chapter where it's, well, we've already talked about the Sanji side of the chapter. The Luffy side of the chapter is like the army comes and it's the scenes are interchanging between the Sanji the Sanji scene and the Luffy scene are interchanging, and while Sanji is talking to Pudding, Luffy is fighting the horde of Big Mom's army.
Yeah. Him do a Gatling. There's Haki. His arms are black. He does a Gatling attack on the first few lines, though Boppin is not there. There's one guy who's fallen over. Like Luffy's, he's pretty well into it. Is pretty much the gist. I'm sure the anime will show it better.
Yeah, Luffy's well and truly beating some folks up. But yeah, someone thought that I think it was in the Skype group. Someone was saying how Bobbin doesn't seem to be affected by the attacks, but if you look at it more closely, he's not actually hitting Bobbin. Bobbin's just a little further away. So,
no, that's not Bobbin. Bobbin isn't even in that frame. That's the big treble dude.
No, next to treble dude. The Bobbin.
Next to treble dude. Oh yes, I see him. I see him. Yeah, sorry. His face is cut in half by the frames. I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So
he's not hitting him though. The attacks are clearly.
Maybe next week we'll get like a. Actually, I imagine next week we'll just get the end of the chapter. The week after next because it's on a break. I feel like we'll just get at the end of the chapter. It'll be just Luffy, beaten up on the floor with everyone surrounding him. I feel like that'll be the end of the chapter. And we won't even see any of the fight. I can imagine that happening.
Yeah, I can imagine that
like
too.
That
something similar happened, I think, earlier, but I can't remember when.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? But the thing is, though, then the implication of that is massive because I think, and I was talking about this with Marco earlier. If this is the case where Luffy does get beaten by this army, and given the strength of them and the weakness physically of him right now, that's very likely. Then I guess the atmosphere of the arc is going to have to shift completely from a rescue Sanji to like a escape from prison arc.
I agree.
Like Impel Down almost, because like that'll change everything. So I don't know how long he's going to spend here, but if he does extend the arc to that length without a Big Mom defeat or like a massive like compensation for it, then it could just be like a huge, I guess like a waste of time. In the sense that they've done nothing, they've just gained Sanji and gotten out, and not really gotten anything else out of it except for Cracker.
Well, there is something that I was thinking. Is remember back in Fishman Island, there was a bomb that got sent to Big Mom. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And there's all these gifts that are going to be given between the two parties, right? One of the gifts from Big Mom to Vince Smokes is probably going to be, because we haven't heard about any big explosion that happened where Big Mom's really annoyed because Fishman Island sent a big explosion and she's sending an army to attack Fishman Island, right? We haven't heard anything about that. So probably she's sending the present that Fishman Island gave to her to the Vince Smokes as like a gift, right? So what could happen is, say Luffy gets captured and he gets thrown in a jail cell or some kind of thing, right? Or just he's about to die. What could happen is this bomb goes off, the Vince Smokes are like, nah, we're going to bounce because we don't trust you anymore. Or something like that. And in the whole, maybe there's some kind of conflict, and in the whole conflict between the Vince Smokes and Big Mom, I mean, I don't think Vince Smokes could put up a big fight anyway, but in the conflict, the Straw Hats escape with the Poneglyph and Sanji, while there's a whole fight going on. Like, could you see that happening?
That's alright. I think, yeah, I can see those now that you've detailed it. Personally, actually, what I'm currently leaning towards is that Jinbei is going to save Luffy from his predicament. That's the one that I think is most likely, and that's what I think would complement the tone of what's been going on so far the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'd just be epic.
But I feel like I just feel like Jinbei's gonna die. I really feel like that's gonna happen. If something happens between Jinbei in this arc, I feel like Jinbei's gonna die, saving the Straw Hats.
I don't get that vibe.
You don't?
Maybe. I mean, I can see it happening, but I don't get that vibe.
Okay.
That he's gonna die. Like, ever since he's wanted to join the crew, I think he's obviously set apart in a few senses because he's a lot more serious in general than the rest, but I can see him gelling quite well. I don't think that Oda has death in store for him at this stage, but I mean, you could be right. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I was just thinking about it, and say Luffy was killed by Big Mom or Big Mom's crew. Luffy dies. I was just thinking, Big Mom would probably be fucked. Like the family
Why?
that Straw Hat has, the family that Luffy has, the
Oh, in
ties
terms of
that he
Shanks
has,
and Dragon.
like Shanks, Dragon, Garp.
Yeah.
Could you like? I honestly think Big Mom would just be fucked. Because
No, I
I'd be so
don't,
annoyed.
because they all have. Because by not basically supervising Luffy in his pirate journey, they're saying they're distancing themselves from his own destiny, which I think is good. Obviously, Luffy making his own destiny, and that means then that while Shanks might react, I don't think Dragon or Garp will, because their
Garp
own
would.
paths are
I feel
different.
like Garp would. I feel like Garp.
I feel like Garp wouldn't. Garp did nothing when Ace was going to die. I don't think he's going to do anything that after Luffy's dead.
Oh no, but
Like
the thing is with Garp, he was affected by his ties to the Marines. He doesn't have any ties to Big Mom, does he?
Oh, I guess he did quit the Marines. Actually, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a point. I don't know. But then he'd be on his own, and he'd just be like exactly what Luffy is now, one man
Yeah.
against an army.
I
And
think
he's an old man.
I think we're talking too much about speculation now. Should we
Yeah,
wrap it up now and talk about what we rate the chapter?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
do you have
that-
any
yeah.
do you have any questions you want to ask the audience about the chapter? You know, stuff that we can maybe people can comment about.
I mean, I'm always open to new theories every week. So if you have any ideas on what's going to happen in the next predictions, definitely put them somewhere. Write them at the bottom. I don't really have much else. Do you reckon? Actually, this is a good one. Do you reckon Pudding is a liar or telling the truth, or is she genuine?
I think she's a big fat liar. I could be wrong.
I think she's genuine.
I think she's been lying from the beginning. I don't think. Right. I just don't think he could be that nice.
All right, we'll leave it to the audience.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the chapter. I think.
Yeah.
Time to wrap up. So I'm Jawa.
Well, rating first. Rating.
Damn it! I knew that. Rating 9 out of 10. Easy.
9 out of 10.
This is a crucial chapter that's just going to propel everything forward. Like
Yeah.
they're all getting massive these days.
I'm going to change my rating because I was going to rate it around a 7, right? But then after talking about this and being so invested in it, talking about whether Pudding's a cheat, talking about whether Sanji's a cheat, whether like what could happen, so much speculation. I'm gonna rate the same as you, 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and visit the forum. Make an account. Comment about your favorite things
Your own
like
ideas.
about One Piece, your ideas, theories. Yeah, chapter threads. Cool.
All right. Ciao out.
Frankie gone out. See you in the next one. Bye.